"They made the E crooked for a reason" is a statement that became synonymous with former U.S. energy sector leader Enron. In 2001, global business enthusiasts watched on in horror as the seventh largest company in the United States of America, which was once valued at $90 billion US, went bankrupt. According to Joe Nopkin, the bankruptcy took jobs, investor savings, retiree futures, and several lives. It was discovered that partnerships had been started with their own shell companies and that they had engaged in massive insider trading. Who was to be made accountable for this fiasco? Within the next few minutes, I will remind organizational managers and supervisors of the importance of accountability within their organizations. This discourse is entitled "Greater Accountability Yields More Stable Organizations." Organizations that embrace accountability build a greater level of trust with their clients and are better able to survive periods of financial difficulty than those organizations which neglect this very important principle. According to Richard Daft, Dorothy Marsick, and Michael O'Loughlin in their works, accountability is that mechanism through which authority and responsibility are brought into alignment. Further, accountability means that the people with responsibility and authority are subject to reporting and justifying task outcomes to those above them in the chain of command. If an organization is to function well, everyone needs to know what they are accountable for and accept the responsibility and authority for performing it. Accountability within organizations is critical to its success. Accountability fosters trust between organizations and their customers. Galford and Draper of the Harvard Business Review cited old-fashioned managerial virtues such as consistency, clear communication, and a willingness to tackle awkward questions as the building blocks of trust. Managers should not send mixed messages, possess inconsistent standards, or even give false feedback. A sound business reputation is always important, as trust and confidence can have a direct and profound effect on a company's bottom line. This is the view of Leon Bracey. Consumers usually have a preference for organizations with good reputation in the marketplace. This despite the fact that similar products or services offered are available. When departments understand their role in the structure of the organization as that entity seeks to fulfill its mission and vision, then the institution is likely to be a more stable one. Although financial stability is usually a short-term goal of most organizations, major problems can occur if this goal is ignored by leaders. Leadership then becomes risky, as researched by Rao and Measure. According to Smith and Fishbasher of the University of Glasgow, resilience as a concept has a strong relationship with stability. A resilient organization is one that remains stable or close to stable in the face of unrest, or is able to return to the equilibrium point quickly after a perturbation has impacted upon it. There are, however, some debates as to what the nature of this equilibrium means. Does it imply that the system has to return to the same point where it was before the trepidation, or does it move to a new state of stability? Nonetheless, it is not difficult to understand how accountability results in stability, which leads to resilience. Many lessons can be learned from Enron's fiasco, considering in this circumstance that shareholders gave their monies to managers and trusted them to invest in the shareholders' interest. According to Saurabh Singh in his article, An Ethical Analysis of the Enron Scandal and Learnings from It, the many causes of the Enron collapse include the lack of attention shown by members of the Enron Board of Directors to the off-books financial entities with which they did business and the lack of truthfulness by managers about the health of the company and its business operation. When some of their businesses and trading ventures began to perform poorly, Enron tried to cover up their own failures. An organization that neglects accountability will fail. Oftentimes, this has a ripple effect on other businesses. Despite the literature that abounds with respect to organizational accountability, some persons feel that accountability is a bureaucratic humbug and a distraction to the organization. On the other hand, the full benefit of subscribing to the value of accountability can only be realized when there is conscientious decision-making by true decision-makers. The view that accountability does not influence the stability and ultimate success of an organization is fallacious. One only needs to analyze other companies such as Excel, Betamax, Swiss Air, Woolworths, and Polaroid, which all failed to appreciate the ever-dwindling virtue of accountability in organizations. Had these companies prioritized accountability within their day-to-day operations, they would have been more stable and resilient, thus being able to weather any financial downturn.